guys, welcome back to my channel and I hope you've all had an amazing day. Today we are back playing some more Dress to Impress and today we are doing another challenge video. So today's challenge is one that I did way back when I first started my channel and it is the Pinterest Picks My Outfit challenge. So for each round I'm going to have to put in Pinterest what the theme is. I'm going to try and have to style it off of some real life fashion and basically just whatever Pinterest tells me to do. This challenge is a little bit tough because real life clothing is a little bit different to Dress to Impress clothing. So some of the outfits can look a little bit basic, so I need to try really hard to make it look interesting while still being true to the reference image. If you aren't already, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out and it means you'll never miss another upload from me again. I post Dress to Impress content every single day, so if you like this video, you'll probably like some of my others. But with all that being said, let's get right into the challenge. Okay, so we have just hopped into a pro server and the first theme of the day is Day at the Museums. I'm just going to pop this into Pinterest and see what comes up. And to be honest, I'm getting a lot of statues coming up, so maybe I should do the statue. You know what? We're gonna do that. Okay, I'm gonna switch over to the male body, which is something I never do. I've had quite a lot of you asking me to do a video where I only style the male body. I find it so difficult because I just feel like we don't have enough clothes. I don't know, you guys might disagree, but I just don't think we have enough to use. I'm gonna go for the skin tone. It's super pale, and then I will put a picture up on the screen of the outfit that has come up. Again, it's not really an outfit, it's more just a statue, but that's what we are copying today. So I'm just gonna go for like white hair, and I think I want some more curls. Do I have anything else I can add here? This one doesn't really go. Let's go that down a bit, maybe position it upwards. It kind of works. Not really. It looks a bit blue. Did I make that blue? This hair looks blue. Why does this look blue? It's definitely not blue. Okay. Anyway. Let's add maybe this one. Option number 2 and make that messy and go for that and that. And then maybe just scale that down and position that up and maybe back a little bit like that. And then I think this one just needs to be made bigger, honestly, like this. And then if we position that downwards a bit, you know what, that's good enough. It's good enough. And then we need a beard, ideally, but I'm not really sure how to make a beard. You know what, guys, there's the first time for everything. So maybe let's use this and position this like all the way down and rotate it upside down like this, and then position that back up. You know what? It looks kind of beard-like. It looks kind of beard-like. And then if we maybe add this to just kind of blend that together, it'll do. It'll do. We have 3 minutes left, so let's hop in here. And I think I want to add the toga that came with the quest rewards. So if I add this, and again, we're just going to keep it very monochrome-y. We can't even do anything with that anyway. Okay, we'll do this, and then I don't really have anything else to go off other than just kind of like the bust of the outfit. So I don't even think that they are wearing shoes. Do statues wear shoes? This is such a question. I'm gonna add this just because, and again, I'm gonna make that the same. We're just gonna keep it very monochrome, very white. Okay, so we have this. I think we're looking pretty statuesque. I think we're pretty true to the image. Again, there's not a lot going on, so I can't really add that much. We've got like a little, almost like a button on the toga, but maybe I could just add a flower. And if I do this and make this these colors, and then if I maybe position this, can't really, maybe I can rotate it upside down. I can, that makes it lower. Okay, cool. And then maybe position that there. And then I'll need to rotate it this way and then position that inwards. What would we do with that item adjustment, honestly? It's kind of blending all the way through, but it is fine. I feel like we need to change our idol to just be still. Which one have I got on right now? I think I've got this one on right now. Let's unequip this idol. We still kind of spin around a little bit, but I don't think it's as bad. Okay, we'll do this. Maybe we'll add a little bow. Oh, we can't add that. This is what I mean, you guys, right? I really want to do the male body only challenge, but look at how little you can put on. We can add this. Let's do that. There's like no items to use. I think when they rework some of the male items and give us a little bit more variety, I will definitely do it. But as of right now, I just don't think it's enough. I don't find it enjoyable because of the lack of items, but that's just a very personal thing. Okay, day at the museum. We have this one here. Got a little ice cream, cute. I'm gonna go for a 2 for this one. Then we have this one. This one's cute. Tour guide, love that. I'm gonna go for a 4 for this one. Then we have this one. We have a lot going on. Natural history bug exhibit. Okay, it's a cool idea. I'm gonna go for a 3 just because I like the idea. I think that's really, really cool. Ooh, who is this? T-Rex didn't finish. That's okay. I'm gonna go for a 2. Again, I like the idea. I think if you would have finished, that would have been really, really cool. I'm not quite sure where the horns have come from. I don't think T-Rexes had horns, if I am thinking correctly. Okay, astrology museum fit. Okay, I like the effort. I'm gonna go for a 3. Again, I am in a pro server. I'm not in a master server, so I am voting a little bit more freely, a little bit more loosely. And then this is ours. I definitely think we look like a little statue. I love that little beard that we've done as well. Hopefully they like it. And then we have this one. This is really cute. I love the blue and the yellow. I'm gonna go for a 4 for this one. Ooh, this is beautiful. This is giving me Cleopatra. Yeah, Cleopatra. I'm gonna go for a 4. I'm assuming it's like an ancient Egypt exhibit. That looks stunning, actually. I love the gold on the dress. Again, I'm so upset that I missed these cultural items. Hopefully they'll come around next year. And then this is the last person. It looks like they joined late, which is totally fine. We'll just skip over them and I'm sure they'll give us something really cool to vote on next round. I'm gonna equip my idol again real quick. And this was the podium. We placed 2nd, which I'm really, really happy about. So I'm going to say thank you in chat. Cleopatra came 1st, which again, really, really happy with that. And we got 17 stars, came 2nd. For a pro server, I don't think that's too bad. Okay, I have just had to server hop because I am having some issues with my internet. So if you see any strange cuts or anything like that, it's just because I have had to reconnect. But this round's theme is Victorian vampire, so let's have a look in Pinterest. Okay, and I have just seen the most beautiful reference image, so I think I'm gonna go for something like this. So I'm gonna hop in here, and usually I'd go for a face like this, but this one is very natural. It's not very vampire-esque. So I'm gonna go for this. I'm just gonna lighten up some of the features. So for this, and then maybe this, I'm just gonna lighten this up. There we go. And then I'm gonna change the skin tone and just make that a little bit paler, like this. There we go. And then for the hair, it's very long, very flowy. So I think I'll go for something like this, and then maybe this, but position this back a little bit. And then this one as well, but scale this down and position this back. And then I do need something else for the front of the face, but I don't think we have anything that quite matches and will make the hairline look nice. So I think I'm just gonna go for this, but only bangs number 3, and then I'll add these, and then I'll just add maybe these only bangs. Again, it's just because we're dressed to impress, we don't really have any hairs that look exactly like that, but I think this looks okay. I feel like this looks, you know, pretty close. And this is going to be black, so we're going to do that and that, that and that, that and that, that and that, and then we'll do this. We do have some gappiness here as well, so I think I'm actually going to bring this one. No, actually, I think it's okay. I think it's fine. I think once we're on the runway, we'll be okay. Okay, let's get started on the outfit. So I definitely want to add the quest item. So I'm going to go for this, but with no feathers. And then I want this as well. I feel like this is the closest thing we're going to get to what is on there. And it's very dark red and lacy and black. So I'm going to add some darkness and then some red and then some red on the gem. And then for this dress, I'll do the same. Get rid of these patterns, and then I don't think we have like a deep red pattern that I'd want to use here. So I think I am just going to go with just a solid colour and make that this, and then light silk that. The trim can be black and then the feathers can be black as well. Okay, and then we have some long, beautiful sleeves. So let's see what we can do for them. They kind of come out at the end, and I really, really wish that I had the, oh, what's it called? The cultural sleeves. I feel like they would be so beautiful here, but we just don't have them, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm going to add those sleeves just for now. I know that that's not like entirely accurate, but that's okay. We're not finished yet. So I'm going to add this and make that silky, and then for the front, I think I'll add this pattern, make that silky, and then add just black stitching and black lace and then black closure. And then I'm gonna add these sleeves and just make those dark and light silky, then the lace can be black. Again, it's not entirely accurate, but that's okay. And then I'm gonna add this, but only the skirt. And then I think I'll add this and this. I feel like this is the closest that we'd get to that redness there, and then just black on the lace. And then I think I'm also gonna add this just for detailing, and I'm gonna keep it super simple. I'm literally just gonna color it all in block colors and just do this, and then I'll make the lacing this color. Okay, and then obviously we don't want our legs out because that just wouldn't have been accurate for the time, so I'm gonna add some tights. I don't like these slits in here. Again, that's not, you know, super accurate to me, but that's okay. And I think we'll just do that and that. And I feel like this is pretty much as close as we're gonna get. I don't think I've got anything else I can use for the sleeves. I don't have the cultural sleeves that have the flower at the end, and the withered rose sleeves I think are just way too big. These ones here, I mean, I could add them. No, I just feel like they look a little bit silly. I feel like it looks way better without. I'm just gonna save that there just so that I have it. And I think it's pretty cute. I think we are as close to the reference image as we can get. Okay, this is the first one. This is not Victorian vampire, so we're just gonna skip over this. And then we have this one. This is beautiful. I love the layering here. I love the use of this pattern. I'm gonna go for a 4, only because I can see a couple things under here that aren't coloured. The moongazer skirt, I wish that that was coloured at the end, so maybe not glittery. But apart from that, I think it's a super cute outfit. Then we have this one, again, stunning. Love the black and the red. I'm gonna go for a 4 for this one as well. We're in a pro server, again, not a master server, so I am voting a little bit more freely, but I do like this one. I think it's cute. And then we have this one, again, all of this going on down here just would not be, it's not Victorian at all. Usually the hem would be kind of down to the feet, or at least, you know, to the shoes, below the shoes. We wouldn't have our legs out there, so I've skipped over this one. Again, this one, it's not giving Victorian vampire, so I'm just gonna skip over this one. I'm so sorry. In fact, I'll go for a 2 because I can see the effort behind it, but it's just not accurate or appropriate for the time. This is ours. It's not my absolute favorite, but I still think it's quite cute. Again, like I said before, real life fashion is a little bit different to DTI fashion, so I would have loved to have added some more to that look and some head accessories, but our reference image just didn't have that. And then we have this one. They said that they joined late, which is totally fine. I'm going to give them a 3 anyway. I love this little corset here in the middle. It looks like we've got like a super cinched waist. I love that. And this was a podium we placed 3rd, which I am more than happy about. I'm going to say thank you in the chat. We came 3rd with 15 stars, which again, for a pro server, I don't think is too bad. The look itself, not my absolute favourite, but again, we're going off of reference images and not doing our own thing, but I think we were fairly close to the reference. I feel like we did okay there. Again, I just would have loved some bigger sleeves. Maybe I could have used the Alphaba dress that had the puffier sleeves. Maybe that would have worked better. But again, it's just that bell flare at the end that I really wish we could have had, but that's okay. We didn't have it, and that is fine. I still think we did okay there. So let's take everything off and get ready for the next round. And hopefully we will get a cool one that we can look up something pretty good in Pinterest. Before my internet disconnected, I had Cherry Blossom, and the outfit was so cute. I'm so upset my internet disconnected there. But we do get to vote on the next one, so maybe let's do electric look. Okay, let's have a look in Pinterest. I have literally just typed in electric look, and the first one that comes up is this really, really cool black and purple look. So I think for the face, I'm gonna go for this. I think this works pretty well. And then the lips, I feel like we need a little bit more purple in there. So let's maybe go for this. I think this works actually. Okay, and then for the hair, we've got some locks in here. We've got a lot going on. I'm gonna go for these and just make those black. And then we'll go for these to layer as well, but we won't have the beads, and we'll do black, and we do need some purple in here, so we'll do that, and then maybe just this. And then if we add these but with no bangs, and then these can be black, and then maybe these, and if we scale these up like this, and then if we did black and purple, you know what, I think this is actually pretty accurate. I think this is actually really cute. Okay, again, I never would have added locks usually, but I think it matches the vibe of the outfit that we're copying. Okay, and then for the actual outfit, we have these, which look beautiful, and they are a pretty vibrant purple, so we're gonna go for this. I feel like this is pretty accurate. Again, not a color I would usually have chosen, and we have run out of space. Okay, cool. Amazing. That's fine. Oh, why have I done that? I didn't mean to do that. We just completely got rid of that color. Right, okay, because we can't save any more colors. I think I'm just gonna use this one here. And then we can't really see the shoes underneath. I'm just gonna go for these and just make those black. There we go. Okay, and then we have quite a bit going on with the skirt. This is like a black color. I'm gonna pattern that with that and make that silky. And then we look like we have a little like kind of micro skirt underneath, so we'll do that, and then we'll make the hardware black as well, just like that. Okay, and then we have some sleeves, and we have some fluff along the sleeves as well, but it's a little bit smaller. No, I need the fur. The fur is the main part here. Like if we make those just this color, again, the fur on hers was a little bit smaller, but we just don't have that. Okay, and then I think the best option here would be maybe this and the supernova corset, or maybe just the supernova corset without that. Yeah, I feel like this is better. And this is like a super shiny, like vinyl-y sort of material. We don't have that, so I'm just gonna do this and then add black detailing and just make that super dark. And then this is also covered up, so we need something here and we need something on the top as well. So maybe if we add this bodysuit and just make everything black and silky, we do that and then that and then that and then that, because she does have tights on as well, so that does tie in and it covers up that gap. Okay. And then she has something on her head, and I can't quite tell what it is, but I kind of want to add these. I feel like these give the same sort of vibe, and then that just looks to be black, so we're just going to add that. And then we definitely need something else on the top. And I'm also going to add these tights as well, just because. And I'm going to make those thick, and I'm going to make them option 5. Okay. And then I need something else on the top here, but I'm just not sure what to add. I could maybe add this top. This actually kind of works. Okay. We'll do that and make it black. I don't think we can cover this because of the corset, but I don't want to get rid of the corset because I think that works really well. It looks like we've got some chokers on here as well. Can't layer those, that's fine. But I can layer maybe this choker and then make that black. And then I do think we're pretty close to our reference image here. We have some little sleeves coming out. We have the fur on the arms. We've got the fur on the legs. Again, it's not a super complex outfit, which is the only issue with these challenges, is that you can't really go outside the box because you have to copy the reference. Okay, this person again is AFK. The theme prompt says bold, shocking looks with a spark of energy. I know that we're not looking like electricity. I would have loved to have added some neon textures in here, but again, I'm just going strictly off of the reference. Okay, this is really cool. I'm gonna go for a 4 for this one. In fact, I want to go for a 5 for this one. I love this one. And then we have this one again, so cool. I'm loving the wand here. I feel like that's such a good touch. I'm gonna go for a 4 for this one. It's pretty simple, like there's not that many items going on, but it just works. It looks nice. And then this is ours. I do think we're pretty truthful to our reference image. It might not be the most electric look I've ever seen, but that's not our challenge. Our challenge is copying our reference images, and this is what came up, so I hope everybody likes it. And then we have this one. This is really cool. I'm gonna go for a 4 for this one. And then we have this one. I love the patterns used. I love that it looks kind of glitchy. I'm gonna go for a 3 though, because we do have a couple pieces uncolored. But the overall vibe I think is pretty good. I really like it. And then we have this one. I'm not sure if it's giving me electric, but it's a really cute fit. So I'm gonna go for a 3 for this one. I would have loved some brighter pops of red in there if she was going with the red theme, but it's still really, really cute. And then we have this one. Obviously they joined late, so I'm just gonna skip over them, and I'm sure they'll give us something really cool to vote on next round. But this was the podium. We placed 3rd, which I am more than happy with. I'm gonna say thank you in the chat. We came 3rd with 18 stars, which again, for a pro server, I don't think is too bad. But I think this one was pretty cool. I think we were pretty close to our reference. There was a couple things obviously that you can't translate over, as with any of these looks. There will always be some things that you can't recreate, but I think in general we did okay there. I'm happy with this one. I think the hair was pretty accurate too, but again I would have loved to have added some more neon in there, but that wouldn't have been accurate to the Pinterest look. But let's take this off and get ready for the next round. Okay, the next theme is golden hour. So a lot of these are just pretty naturey. This is the first one that comes up, so I think I'm just gonna go for this, and I'm gonna pick this as my base and just recolor everything. Someone is in the chat asking for VIP, so we're just gonna close that and pretend we haven't seen it. Okay, and then for the lips, I feel like if we go for something dark like that. And then for the face, maybe if we just switch over to maybe this, and then again just keep that pretty deep like that. And then this one can be a little bit brighter, maybe like this. That could be cute. Okay, and then let's add these parts, and then let's add this, let's add this, and then this, and maybe this. Okay, and then for the eyes we'll do the same, so we'll keep them pretty light there, and then the shading can be like that. Okay, and then on the color wheel, let's maybe go for this just to give it a little bit of contrast. Okay, and then for our hair, we can do something a little bit more free here, because we don't have an actual look to copy. It's more just a vibe. So let's go for this, and let's do this and this maybe. And then maybe if I add this, and let's do that and that. Let's add these only bangs and do this and this. And then let's do this but with no bangs, and let's go for that. And then I think that's okay for now. Okay, and then let's hop in the dressing room. And let's see what we can do. For a lot of my ethereal outfits, I have been adding the body pass dress as my base. Again, just because it adds these little chain parts here, I just think it's so beautiful. Okay, patterns, we're looking for things kind of golden. I really think this one would work quite well. And then maybe this one as well could work well. And then maybe this one. Okay, I think if we go for these, that'd be pretty good. Okay, so we'll do that and then silk it. And then for the skirt, let's go for this and silk that. The sheer fabric can be lighter, and then we'll add some deeper orange tones down here. And then we'll also add some deeper orange tones for the chains. The heart can be lighter, and then for these pieces, again, we'll add some deeper tones here. Okay, and then let's maybe add this piece here. And let's do maybe this and this. Okay, cute. And then we could layer this skirt as well. This could be quite cute. Let's add some more patterns in here. So let's go for this one again, and let's silk that. And then let's go for this deep burnt orange here. And then let's add, okay, actually we'll pattern that, and we'll make that maybe this pattern and make that silky. And then the edges can be this deeper orange tone. Okay, looking kind of cute. We could also go all out and add this one. I think this actually would be real cute. So let's go for this deep orange tone here, and let's make that default. Actually, I don't want to mess with the really gorgeous pieces we have there. Then let's add some lighter tones in here. Let's do this and then maybe this. Okay, I'm liking this one. I think it's cute. Let's add this and scale it down. And then again, I want to bring these slightly lighter tones up here. So let's do that and then this. And then we definitely need shoes. So let's just go for some pumps, nice and simple, and then just keep them orange. And we'll add some tights as well, and then they can also be orange. And then we'll do our nails, and they can be this color and medium length. And then I definitely want some sleeves, so I'm going to hop back in here and I'm going to take the Body Pass ones because they add this kind of shimmer that I just love on here. And I think this is really cute. Is there anything else I want to add? I can maybe add the jellyfish skirt here, and maybe if we add this light golden tone here and make that silky. And then, oh, that is the wrong item. Let's take that off real quick. I've got 4 seconds. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it as it is. I think this is really cute. I like this one. So this is the first one. I think this is really cute. I'm gonna go for a 4 for this one. And then this is ours. I think we look super cute. I really like this look. I hope everybody else does. And then we have this one. I love the concept. I'm gonna go for a 3 for this one. And this one as well, I like the concept. I just don't think that it is my favorite, so I'm just gonna vote in the middle with a 3. This one as well. I don't know why everybody's gone for the bubble. I'm not sure what bubble adds to golden hour. I think it's cool that it makes you float though, I guess. I'm gonna go for a 3 in the middle with this one as well. Okay, then we have this one. It looks like they joined late, so we're just going to vote them a 1 and skip over them. And then we have this one. Again, I think this one is really cute. I'm going to go for a 3 for this one. And this one, also really cute. I'm going to go for a 3 in the middle. And then this is the final one. I love that they went for something a little bit different. I'm going to go for a 3 in the middle. I just wish we had a few more kind of brighter golden tones in here. And this was the podium we placed first. I'm going to say thank you in the chat. We came first with 19 stars, which I am more than happy with. Again, it's a pro server, so I'm happy with those votes. I feel like that's okay. And again, I do feel like we were pretty truthful to our reference. We just had a lot of orange and yellow tones that we had to use in there. We did get to go a little bit more free with that one because it wasn't a specific look that we had to copy, so that was a fun one. Okay, and our next theme is Avant-garde. I really wish that we didn't have this one for this challenge. I wish that we could just do this on our own, but that's okay. I think I'm gonna go with this look. This is like the first one that pops up. Okay, I've saved that. Ignore the names of my outfits here. Let's take all of this off. Okay, and let's change our face. I think our face will just go for something like this. And then for our hair, it's very, very simple. It's kind of like a slick back. So I think I'll just go for this. And then, honestly, I think I'm just going to add some bangs and call it a day. There's not too much that you can do to kind of copy this. I'm just going to go for this, only bangs, and do that. And then make this all a dark brown. If I do this and this, and then these bangs can be this color, I think that's honestly fine. Hers looks like a ponytail, but the only like slick back ponytails we have look super what's the word, just not great. They look super fine, which isn't my favorite. Okay, so we have a lot of like bubbling going on with this, and we have a very skin tight, like shiny dress. So the first thing I'm thinking of is this dress, but without this. And I know that the look doesn't have feathers at the bottom, but I just think the shape of this is like exactly right for what we need. So we're gonna go for like a silvery grey for this. We can pattern this, but I just don't think it gives us the right kind of effect. So I'm just gonna go for that. And then we'll just add some more kind of grey tones in here. And then we'll do this. We can kind of go freestyle at the bottom because she doesn't have feathers there. So we'll just do whatever we want with that bit. Okay. And then how am I gonna create everything else? I think I maybe want to go with... I could use this because it kind of gives the same shape at the back. You get what I mean, right? If I do this and then I go for this and then I go for this. Okay, and then I definitely want more on the dress. So I'm going to add this one. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. So I'm going to make this gray. I'm going to try and match it up to that one as best as I can. And I'm going to add that. And then I'm going to add this. And then I'm going to add this. And it just adds a little bit more to the dress. Okay. I would love to add these sleeves here, but I'm just not sure. No, you know what? I think this works. I think this is the closest thing that we're gonna get. we do this, and then we do this, and then maybe do this. Okay, okay. I would love something big on the shoulder here as well. Maybe we could add the supernova corset, but just the puffy part here. In fact, I think we could just add the whole thing, and then it gives us the ability to add some more texture here. We make that a little bit darker like that, and then the rest can just be like silver like this. Okay, and then we've got a big collar, so I think I'm going to go with the quest one. I know that this whole look has been in the dressing room, but all the items I've needed have been here, so sorry about that. Let's do this, make it a little bit lighter, and then make that silky, and then everything else can again just be grey, and the feathers can be grey there, and then the gem can be grey as well. And then is there anything else that we can add? We could maybe, again, I would love to add this for the detailing, but I don't know whether I want to use it again. You know what? No, we'll do it. I think it works really well. We'll do it really quickly. We'll do this and make this silky, and the sheer fabric can be a bit lighter. It just adds that extra detail that I'm wanting. We'll do that, and then we'll do that, and then this can just be like, I guess this color, a little bit darker. And then what can we foil here? Let's add some extra textures in here. Let's do this, and then I think I want to make that a little bit lighter actually. You know what? That actually brings that kind of foiled material in really well. Then we need some shoes. We can't see her shoes, but I'm just gonna make them grey. And then our nails, we'll make those grey as well. And you know what? I think this is pretty good. I think this is like as close as we can get in Dress to Impress to something like this. So I am happy with that. I'm sure with item adjustment, I could have made like this big puffy sleeve on the side, but I am just not that skilled. I'm just not that skilled, unfortunately. But this is our look. I really like this one. Oh, I've just noticed you can see her shoes actually. They're like a chrome silver color. Okay. Well, anyway, this is our look. I am really happy with it. I think it's really cute. And then we have this one. Oh, this is pretty. I am loving the no hair here. I'm gonna go for a 4. She said she didn't finish, but I still think it's really cute. If she hadn't have said she didn't finish, I probably wouldn't have even noticed. And then we have this one. This is stunning. Loving the use of the onion dress. I'm gonna go for a 4 for this one as well. And then we have this one. Again, really, really pretty. I'm gonna go for a 3 for this one. I don't like it as much as I have liked the other ones, and I'm not too keen on the clipping coming through here, but that's just a personal thing. I do think it's still quite cute. And then we have this one. I'm gonna go for a 4 for this one. I think this one is really pretty. I'm loving the pink and the green. And then we have this one. This one isn't giving me avant-garde. This is giving me Rockstar. So I'm gonna skip over this one and we'll just wait for the next one. And then we have this one. Again, it's not really giving me avant-garde, but I prefer it more to the last one. So I'm gonna go for a 3. For avant-garde, I'm looking for super big, just big, I guess. Big creative looks. Okay, she said, please vote. I'm new. We're not on theme, so we're not gonna vote. I'm so sorry. And this was a podium. We placed 3rd, which I am more than happy with. Gonna say thank you in the chat. We came 3rd with 18 stars, which again, I am happy with. I liked our look here. Oh, I've just walked into the wall. I think this was a cute one. Again, I think it's as close as we could have gotten to the reference without crazy item adjustment, but I'm just not very good at item adjustment. But thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here. If you do enjoy Dress to Impress content, please make sure you do subscribe. It really, really helps me out, and it means you'll never miss another upload from me again. If there are any more challenges you'd like to see, please let me know down below, and I will be more than happy to get around to them and to attempt them. But with all that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!